I dance for a cop. Like, seriously. Didn't know he was a cop. He didn't disclose that until later on. So we're gonna get into the tea, honey. So, if you watch my previous video, you would see, like, you know, I started dancing. Just because I need to run up a bag real quick. Like, that has always been an option for me. So it's like, okay, I need some fast money right quick. Let me go do this. Okay. Anyway, so I'm in the club and this guy, he comes in. He looks very, like, mature. He looks young, don't get me wrong, like, he's young, but he has this stern, like he's in the military or something. So I knew he was young, but I thought maybe he was like in his 30s because he had this very mature vibe, but he was like 28. So I see him, he come in. As soon as he come in, he goes to the ATM machine. I'm at the bar, so he comes to the bar, and then he goes sit down. He sits like, I'm like right here at the bar. I say this the bar. I'm like right here at the bar. And he's like right over there. So I'm looking at him. So I'm looking at, trying to see if, like, you know, like I said, sometimes you just feel like they speed. If you they speed, they'll look at you. It was mad slow. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys in the club, and he had just arrived. So before that was 4. So I'm like looking at him. He looking at me. I'm like, okay. He wasn't really giving me like come to me vibes. I just had to go to him to see like what was going on. So I go up to him and I say like, oh, I was like, what type of mood you're in? And he was like, you my mood. Okay, cool. So I sat down. I sat on his lap, and you know, we were just talking. We was having a conversation. You know, I was just asking him like, you know, how you day, da 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 da. So he like goes in full detail and tells me, you know, everything. Like, he's talking about his baby mamas. He's telling me like he already went to a previous strip club before he came here, and I forgot what did he say. I don't know if he was vibing in that club or what, but he came to my club. But the club that he was at and my club 30 minutes apart. It probably like 30 minutes. Probably took him like 30 minutes to get to my club. So I was just like, you know, that right there just struck the conversation, because I'm just like, and he was like, oh, I've been here a couple of times, but it's been like last year. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So we having a conversation. Our conversation is going so good that I forgot, like, I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh, let me know if you want to dance. You know, like, let me know when you want to dance or whatnot, because I'm like, I know you came to the club. Well, our conversation was just like that juicy. Like, he was telling me everything. Like, he was telling me everything, and I had already peeped, like, okay, so I'm already trying to peep how long he gonna be in the club, like da da da. So he really just came to get a dance and, you know, just go. But he went to the ATM and I seen what he pulled out. So I'm like, okay, I'm trying to get all of that, you know. I'm trying to get all of that what he got. So so I say maybe 20 minutes go by as we talking. He's like, oh, I'm gonna slide out. He's not about to slide out. I'm ready for the dance. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I give him one dance. And he took me very well, like really, really well, because it was slow that night. So if it wasn't for him, baby, I probably would have been pissed like everybody else was pissed. But he had took me really well, and he was just like, we were just talking about, like, you know, common interests, stuff like that. So I was telling him like, oh, I'm a beast at bowling. Like, you don't want to see me bowling. He was like, oh, I got a bowling tournament. Like, you don't want to see me. So he's like, let's go bowling then. Let's go bowling. So, you know, we exchanged numbers, because like I said, I don't want to get, you know, be disclosing all his business, because I mean, even if he do see this video, he see this video, but it's like, I don't want to be telling y'all that man all his business and stuff like that. But the way his life set up, me and him could never We could never, let's say that we could only be cool friends, platonic friends. That's basically what we all could be, like cut and dry, simple like that. But he was just really cool. So when he leave, he was just like, man, you know, you're just so beautiful. Like, he was just like, you really showed me a good time. Like, I really appreciated everything. Like, you was able to get, you know, allow me to get everything off my chest. Like, I was, you know, going through some things, stuff like that. So I was like, oh, cool, it's no problem. So he was just like, well, I lied to you about one thing. So I'm like, okay, I ain't thinking nothing of it, because these men be lying, baby. They be lying. They'll lie about the color of their socks. Seriously. So he was like, I want to let you know I'm a cop. So I was like, oh, okay. I was like, you know, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Like, that don't have nothing to do with me. So he proceeds to send me like pictures of a video. He sent me a video of like another officer was recording him like in his car. So he works for the Atlanta police. So I was just like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? And it was just crazy, because I would have never thought, like I said, he had a mature vibe to him, but I would have never thought like police. But he kept saying like, oh, what time you getting off work? What time you getting off? So I'm thinking like, you know, he on a different type of time. Like, you supposed to be police. You came in here and you trying to get a dance. Like, okay, cool, and you talking, but you continually to ask me like what I'm doing after this. And so he's like, oh, I want to make sure you get home safe, da da da. And which he did. Like, he was a real gentleman. But like, when he left the strip club, he went somewhere else. Like, no, he went and met up back with his friends, because his friends was at Trapeze. And he was like, he didn't like the vibe there, so that's why he came to my club. So I was just like, oh, okay, cool. But he was just like, I just felt like he was just gonna be asking me like, oh, when you get off work, you wanna meet up. That's the type of vibe he was giving me. And like I said, I was only doing nothing but a friendship with him, like, and we really discussed that. I was just like, oh, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, you could be the homie, but that's all you gonna be. Like, don't think, you know, nothing of it or whatever. And he just like, first of all, he had a lot of stuff going on. And when I mean a lot of stuff, a lot of women going on too, because he disclosed these things. Like I said, he was just getting a lot off his chest. And I was like, I guess I'm a therapist too in the club, you know? Like, baby, you wanna pay me? I'll go. I wanna make sure I ain't telling all my business. You wanna pay me $100 an hour to tell all your business? Cool, baby, I'll be a little therapist. But yeah, so that was my encounter of dancing a police officer, and a police officer that I could potentially run into again. And like, even from that club, I feel like he was like liking me too much, because the next day he'll double text me. Like, if I don't hit him back like right then, he'll double text me. I'm sorry guys if you hear the sirens. Okay, they gone. But he would, like, if I would text him right then, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes go by, he'll double text me, triple text me. Then he started like FaceTiming me and stuff, and I was just like, he didn't give off like no weird vibes or anything, but he just like, he was really like, you know what I'm saying, like really like checking for me. And I'm like, okay, he's doing too much. Like, he's doing too much. And he went, and it went no too much like, oh, what's your cash app so I can send you, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't giving them type of vibes, baby. He was giving them vibes of like, you know, he just want to talk. And I'm like, this ain't that. I'm not gonna be your therapist outside the club, because you're not gonna pay me. So it's like, nah, baby, keep it moving. But that was my experience dancing a cop. Like, you know, you gotta watch yourself, especially in Atlanta. They be trying to jam you up, because they already be listening to our conversations and our text messages. That's why they be advertising and sponsoring so much stuff to us when we're on social media. So I'm like, oh, they trying to get me. But this concludes the video, guys. Thank you so much for listening to this juicy little story time. Like, comment below if you're a dancer, if you're not a dancer. Like, if you ever have like ran into a police officer and they was trying to talk to you. They was not in uniform. You didn't know anything, and then come down the line like they're a cop. Cause they like I done had a couple of cops try to talk to me, and my homegirl was telling me like, oh, them cops, they crazy. Like police officers, they crazy. You don't want to mess with no police officer, and they have multiple girls. Like they be having a lot of women. Even when they married, they be cheating and stuff. So, baby, this ain't that. No, this ain't that. But make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like I said, comment about your experience. If you ever seen this or dealt with this before, make sure you like this video and make sure you give us a thumbs up. And I'll be back with another video next week. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell, because I will be uploading every Sunday. Like I said, I'm being consistent with this YouTube thing. So also tell me what you want to hear, like, you know, as a new dancer, if I missed something or it's something that you want to know, like comment below and let me know, you know, what you want for tea. What's a little tea, boo?